Good morning, sir. Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Come, have your seat. Anmol, briefly introduce yourself.
Sir, I was born in Jabalpur. I did my schooling from Bhopal and I graduated from IIT Delhi and did my BTech in textile technology. And since then, I have been preparing for civil services. I did a job for a year in a company called Farm Guide, and my hobbies are playing football, squash, and I even like to swim, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, why should Jabalpur not be made a smart city? Is it listed in a smart city project?
Yes, sir, it is in the smart city.
So, has it become smart now?
Sir, certain developments have been taken place in Jabalpur.
Like?
However, the overall progress still remains to be done, sir.
Okay, what progress has already taken place and what needs to be done further?
So, certain areas, for example, traffic management system, it has been integrated. Overall control and command center has been developed to manage traffic, and even so in smart parkings, technology is being used, and a certain area has been allocated in which the project has been taking place.
And what needs to be done further?
So, Jabalpur faces a lot number of problems. For any smart city, which is, I think, is traffic is the major problem.
Second, you have said that it has been done.
Yes, sir. And second, I think, in my opinion, is the safety of women, sir, which needs to be taken care for any smart city, I think. Thirdly, I would say Narbada flows through Jabalpur, and sewage problem and waste entering into Narbada is a major concern for the river and for the people living there.
So, water treatment plants have not been established yet.
Water treatment plants are there, but they remain highly underutilized. And secondly, it's a big district, sir, and there are various non-point and point sources, and flouting of regulations, government regulations, is there because of lack of enforcement, which needs to be checked, sir.
Or you can say lack of civic sense in the people of the city and the country as a whole.
Sir, rightly said, sir, it is one of the reasons, but this can be changed, sir, through...
How can we groom and develop civic sense among our citizens?
So, there are multiple ways to do that. First is to incentivize people to do that, to make them more aware about how their actions lead to pollution or lead to any, for example, as done in Swachh Bharat program, as done for Ganga also, Jan Bhagidari, what they are calling. Second is to penalize them, sir, for spitting, for example, for throwing plastic, for use of plastic, sir, which is also being done. So these are two measures. And third, I would say that overall ecosystem has to be developed from school, from teaching students in school to making parents aware and using mediums like radio, using...
Indore is one of the cleanest city in the country.
Yes, sir.
How about Bhopal? Is it not clean enough?
So, in 2016 and 17 survey, Bhopal was ranked 2, and the recent last survey has ranked Bhopal as 18. So I do not remember the exact rank, but the rank went back from second rank, sir.
That means other cities have improved faster.
Yes, sir, and even the certain areas in Bhopal have not shown the progress or maintained that level of cleanliness as done by Bhopal, as done by Indore.
There is a rampant process of urbanization also, and the urban local bodies are perhaps not doing enough to manage the quality of urbanization. What are the functions, basic functions of an urban local body?
So, in my opinion, the basic functions are to provide basic amenities to the people, to provide developmental activities such as opening schools and all, and providing amenities like water, transport. So this is what I can remember.
Which part of the constitution provides law for urban local bodies?
So the 74th Constitution Amendment provided inserted Article 243 in the Constitution.
Which part of the Constitution?
I'm sorry, sir. Part 12 of the Constitution.
12?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Anmol, what is the meaning of your name?
Sir, it means that something that cannot be priced, something that is invaluable.
Very
sir.
precious.
Yes, sir, something that is.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you had done textile, your bachelor's. There are many GI given to the textile products. Can you name a few?
Sir, from Madhya Pradesh, I can tell to Chanderi sarees and Maheshwar sarees, and even yes, sir, this is
Mysore silk,
yes,
Pashmina
and
shawl.
Mysore and Kanchipuram silk. Yes.
Okay, if we need to make it artificial, synthesized, right? So, in what are the other derivatives we can convert them?
So
Other
silk-
derivatives out
for
of
silk?
it. Natural silk
Yeah,
or
yes.
the natural
Sir,
textile.
nylon is used as a replicant for silk, sir,
Okay.
and various other derivatives of nylon.
And I can recall that in the parachute, it is used. Which material is used in parachute?
So nylon is used as far as I.
It is imported or it is produced in India?
Sir, I am not aware about.
Okay. There is so much particular about the collector building everywhere that they are having a clock with pendulum,
Yes, sir.
right? Mechanical clock.
Yes, sir.
So, if the physics is applied there, which formula we can use for the moment that pendulum is moving?
So I don't remember the exact formula for time period. So it's 2 pi root L by G, I think.
Okay, supposedly one insect or many insects are there on the pendulum, right? So the speed of the clock will be reduced or it will be the same.
So the speed will remain same, sir.
It will remain same.
Yes, sir.
And in winter and summer, what will be the difference?
So there could be difference as the length of the wire would contract in winters, and the speed would change because of that, sir. Could change because of that, sir.
Oh, how?
So because the time period depends on the length of the wire.
So length will be shrinking in winter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. You are from IIT also. Very recently, they have proposed one system called as TTS, tenure tracking system,
Yes, sir.
for the kind of professors and the practicing people, faculty, and they are absorbed as permanent. So, are you aware about?
I'm sorry, sir. I have to read on.
And they have also applied Institute of Eminence on IIT Delhi,
Yes, sir.
right? Are you aware about that fact? What is that?
Sir, certain institutes have been designated as Institute of Eminence, and certain autonomy and funding has more autonomy to those institutes and more funding through government.
There was one institute which was in controversy for the kind of IOE status was being given. What is the name of that?
Sir, I do not recall the name of that.
Geo.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And this UGC is to be replaced. It's all set to be replaced, right? And HEFA is also one. HEFA. What is that?
So HEFA is for Higher Education Financing Authority, sir.
So what will be the difference? Like current UGC, and there will be a split between UGC and Ministry of Finance and HEFA also. So currently UGC is doing both functions, or there is another department which is looking after the finance functions?
So finance is under the ministry's power, and UGC's role is to regulate the college, the curriculum, the teaching, and other.
So
avenues.
you think that it is good for technical education for the years to come?
So for technical education, we have a body called AICTE, which is proposed to be merged into a single regulatory authority, which would, I think, the government is planning to empower HEFA to be the single regulator for all universities. So such a thing will have various positives, as it will reduce the multiplicities of bodies. It will bring the entire ecosystem into single regulator. However, sir, technical education also has concerns because it is a specific branch and its curriculum needs to be updated, and the entire.
Okay, I got your point. Last question. Policy analyst, you were trained about this policy academically?
Sir,
You were given training for policy analyst work?
No, sir.
So you were absorbed for that job directly?
Yes, sir.
So do you know something technically about its policy, what this policy is and how it came into being?
So my role in the company was to understand the government's agriculture policy and advise the company to make SaaS products around it, sir. and the company was also
It is in sync with the kind of incubation center for agriculture product. Recently, we have organized some event because of Modi government had thrust about it.
so there were certain talks with incubation centers.
So within a month, it happened, like last month.
Sir, I'm not aware about it.
Okay.
Anmol, so you've done policy analysis in agriculture sector,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're from Madhya Pradesh also. Madhya Pradesh is one of the fastest growing states economic growth wise, and agriculture is supposed to be one of the reasons for that. Which are some of Madhya Pradesh's best agriculture practices?
Ma'am, as rightly said that agriculture is the major reason behind the growth of economy in Madhya Pradesh. So, ma'am, there are various reasons for it. Firstly, the irrigation network in Madhya Pradesh over the last 20 years has grown by 2 times, which has increased the productivity of farms in Madhya Pradesh. Second is Madhya Pradesh has focused on crop diversification. We find that 40% of horticulture produce of entire country comes from Madhya Pradesh. Oilseeds is being grown, and thirdly, ma'am, the agroclimatic zone practice has been inculcated in Madhya Pradesh policy, and this is also promoted through extension services to farmers, and other practices like providing loans to farmers has increased, having e-chopal system, a tractor renting system for farmers, and these overall measures have led to the growth of agriculture in Madhya Pradesh, ma'am.
Okay. Recently, the budget came out. One of the most anticipated changes in any budget is the income tax slabs.
Yes, ma'am.
It was very anticipated this year also. Why so much anticipation around income tax slabs, and how does it ultimately impact, say, a country's growth?
Ma'am, the anticipation is because of various reasons. First is a lot of the government's revenues are dependent on tax. And second is that it is an interaction between the people, the direct interaction of government's policy that is applied to, that is faced by people. And the major changes that were brought in where multiplicity of slabs has increased. This was done because the overall consumption demand in India has been reduced, and which was cited as a cause of slowdown. So creating number of slabs and removing the exemptions. This allows the new tax system allows people to spend more, and again the government has given the opportunity to the people to continue with the older tax system. So this has been the overall
Okay.
tax.
And what would you say is the stated objective of disinvestment?
Ma'am, the new target of disinvestment is around 2.1 lakh crores. And major companies like LIC, the stakes in LIC, Concor.
That does not tell me why we need to do disinvestment.
Yes,
you're telling me the targets, and you're telling me which companies will be, say, divested of government share, but why?
Ma'am, the idea behind disinvestment is that to allow best management practices to come into the public sector enterprises, and second is to mobilize investment in those sectors. Third is to free the capital, the government's capital, which is in these companies, so that to check fiscal deficit and use those capital for social sector and other schemes where government can do. And fourthly, the overall idea is that government has no role in business, but its role is in facilitating business.
Okay. And do you think that is the reason why we are carrying out the disinvestment operations, or is it maybe to meet the fiscal deficit targets of the government?
Ma'am, meeting fiscal deficit target is one of the prime reasons for doing it. Second, ma'am, it also depends on the case-by-case basis for companies. For example, for Air India, privatization has been due because the company has been in debt. And for companies like LIC, privatization or disinvestment will make the company more scrutinable to the corporate governance norms. It will free up the government's capital, and so these are reasons for different companies, ma'am.
Okay, and your optional is physics.
Yes,
Last year's economic survey mentioned a phenomena. It's called the butterfly effect from the chaos theory.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the butterfly effect?
Ma'am, butterfly effect states that any changes in anywhere can produce a a whole lot of changes. For example, flapping of wings of butterfly could lead to an avalanche. This was the idea behind naming it as butterfly.
Right. Last question to you. This year's budget introduced a national mission on quantum technologies.
Yes, ma'am.
Why a sudden thrust towards quantum technologies?
Ma'am, the thrust towards quantum technology is, firstly, it is an upcoming field. Second is, it will speed up the entire communication and the digital processing that we presently know about. And third, I would say, is that it is very vital for our cyber security. Countries like China and US has made a dramatical progress in quantum computing, and hence it was needed. It is vital for our country to focus on quantum computing.
Thank you.
Anmol, who got this year's Nobel Prize for Physics?
Sir, I don't recall the names.
Okay, you are from Jabalpur. How do you describe the topography of Jabalpur?
Sir, I have to read on it.
And in general, what's the topography of Madhya Pradesh?
So Madhya Pradesh has two ranges, Satpura and Vindhyachal ranges in the southern part. These ranges move from east to west direction, and Narmada river is situated.
What is the nature of these ranges?
So they are divergent mountains, and they are created because of tectonic breaking of the southern peninsula from the northern plain region.
So can we say Narmada river is an antecedent river?
Sir, I'm not sure.
So what do you mean by antecedent river?
Sir, I have to read on it.
Okay, can you trace the path of Narmada river?
Sir, I'm not able to. Sir, I don't know all the districts of Narmada.
Okay, recently Kono Palpur sanctuary is in news.
Yes.
Why is it so?
So it is in news for two reasons. First is reintroduction of African cheetahs into that sanctuary, and second, it was also the proposed site for reallocation of lions from Gir, sir.
Don't you think that we should introduce Asiatic cheetah instead of African cheetah?
Yes, sir. It would be a better match for the environmental and biodiversity conditions in India. But the controversy, sir, is that the Asiatic cheetahs from Iran, so they are located in Iran, and the number of cheetahs in Iran has reduced to less than 50, sir. Okay. And hence the other opportunity was to get them from Kenya.
What is the current status of tigers in India?
So the number of tigers has increased to around 2,900. Sir.
And in which state the largest number of tigers are found?
Sir, in Madhya Pradesh, 526.
In Madhya Pradesh. Okay, what do you mean by M-Stripes?
Sir, M-Stripe is a software application which is used for counting tigers. Sir.
Okay, according to India State Forest Survey report, which state of India has the largest forest cover area?
Sir, by area, Madhya Pradesh has the largest cover.
How much area is this?
So it is around 95,000 square kilometers.
Okay, it has largest forest cover area. So how do you see that? What are the main challenges for the government to, you can say that, stop forest fires?
So the challenge is because of forest fire.
The challenges
to stop
in front of government to stop forest fires.
Okay, sir. So one of the major challenges is that of climate change, sir. Because of and global warming, because of increased temperature, the events of forest fire has increased. And second most important challenge is that of shifting agriculture and deforestation, sir. Third is that of flouting of regulations, sir, because major forest fires have been caused by burning matchstick or smoking cigarettes, which is very difficult to impose. And the government needs to invest on technology, firstly, to monitor forest fire, to create zones of demarcation. And second challenge and last challenge, I would say, sir, is that infrastructure or spending to create forest lines, fire control lines.
Do you think forest fires are also beneficial?
Sir, yes, sir, they are.
In which ways?
Sir, in numerous ways. It increases the temperature, which increases the microbial activity and decomposes the entire stock, which is then used by other microorganisms and improves the soil fertility, sir. Secondly, sir, it also leads to burning of invasive species like weed and lantana cameras.
Okay, thank you.
Anmol, in present day world, do you see any relevance for NAM, an organization like NAM?
Non-aligned movement countries are the second largest number of countries in a particular organization after UN. So there is a relevance because of the entire the global community, the membership of that. Secondly, I would say, sir, NAM countries are mostly developing countries. So NAM can be used for encouraging South-South cooperation, encouraging equity in climate change talks or in WTO, and even in nuclear proliferation. And NAM countries can be used. And
But
even in,
what do you think? Is India still keen on NAM, or India has given up on NAM?
sir, India, I believe, is still keen on NAM, sir.
But the official response to NAM shows otherwise. Recently, Indian Prime Minister also did not attend the NAM summit.
So I would say that the focus is still on NAM, and the latest event, the perception is being built that India is not keen towards NAM. India is being aligned to countries, but I believe that India has always followed a policy of multilateralism, and NAM remains one of the core foundations of it. And the principles of NAM, the preamble of NAM,
India
is-
seems to be following a policy of enlightened self-interest. What do you understand by enlightened self-interest, and how is it different from Gujarat Doctrine?
Sir, I'm not sure about the terms.
About enlightened self-interest, you are not sure?
Sir, if it means a specific connotation, then I don't know about.
Okay. India is also following a policy of de-hyphenation towards Israel and Palestine. What does it actually mean?
So, by dehyphenation, our policy states that we will look at the two countries different, not because of their connection between them, but because of India's relations to those countries.
Okay. And does that mean effectively giving up on the Palestinian cause and having very close relations with Israel?
So this definitely means that having close relations with Israel, and this also means that India will continue to stand for Palestinian cause. In the recent UN talks on Palestinian, the settlements in West Bank by Israel, India has voted against it, and this shows that we are still supporting the cause of Palestine, sir.
Okay. Anmol, you come from Madhya Pradesh,
Yes.
and in Madhya Pradesh recently very disturbing visuals were seen where local administrators, government officials were actually assaulting the protesters. So how right it is on the part of civil officials to manhandle the protesters? They were also manhandled.
So I believe that it is the duty of civil administration to maintain law and order, and such
Does it
measures.
mean physical?
Yes, sir. Such measures should not be taking place in a democratic society, sir.
Okay, and in Madhya Pradesh, another disturbing incident took place few months back, where two Dalit boys were killed by members of the dominant caste just because they defecated in the open. So, does it not reflect the failure of the state machinery?
Yes, sir. I think this represents a failure of state machinery, and it also represents a failure of the society also, sir, at large. Because killing of individuals, instead of correcting them, talking to them is a sin, and punishment has to be given to those people, sir.
Okay, you are also a student of physics. Can you tell me what do you understand by quantum dots and what is their use?
Sir, I have to read on quantum dots.
Okay, thank you.
Anmol, textile industry is in distress according to the All India Association. Their sales are down, unemployment is rising within textile industry. What the government is doing about textile industry in international context? What policies are there?
So to boost our exports, government has taken various measures. First is to reduce the overall cost of production, and to do that we are following a cluster-based approach. And
Now, there is
using-
a specific grievance of the textile industry that a large amount of fiber is being imported from perhaps Indonesia and Thailand. So the local producers of fiber in the country, one of them is perhaps Birla Group. they are not able to sell their produce, so they are not procuring cotton from the farmers, and so the entire spiral down process is going on.
So this is also a reason where India is importing cheap products from cheap products, and which has hampered our industrial growth, sir. And even for exports, sir, the government is providing return on state levies and other duty-free access to exporters. And even with the WTO talks, sir, because India is considered as a developing countries compared to Vietnam and Bangladesh, who are categorized as least developed countries. So there is a need to boost our exports through multilateral engagements with ASEAN, FTA with ASEAN countries, with EU. So these measures the government is taking. And again, on the front of imports, or the cheap imports that are coming into India, certain safeguard duties have been imposed by the government so as to boost the manufacturing, the domestic manufacturing, particularly in the man-made textile sector, sir.
So you feel that the government has done enough?
Sir,
but the industry runners, the workers, are saying that government has not done enough. So there is a gap between expectations and performance. Similarly, FCI is sitting on a vast stock of food grains, and so a committee set up within the FCI to review the position has suggested to reduce procurement next season. Due to these recommendations, the farmers of Punjab, Haryana and Western UP are very upset that their Rabi crop would be harvested in a month or two, and FCI has reduced the target of procurement. Do you think the government, within the government, policy making is quite blurred and confused?
So I'll take a moment to think. So to answer your first question, has the government done enough for the textile sector? So I would say that textile sector is a very large sector, and there are multiplicity of laws in India. We have more than 200 state labor laws, and we have over 50 central laws. So any changes in textile sector are very slow to come, and hence there is a perception that government has not done enough. But if we look into the reforms that have been taken place, 4 labor codes are being considered, GST has been introduced, exports have been promoted, technology textile mission have been there. So there are measures being taken, and I believe in coming years the progress will speed up. Our ease of doing business has also increased. So to answer your second question, so the procurement in FCI has the buffer stock that FCI has overbreached the intended target, and this has created a market distortion firstly, and this is also a violation to the I would say that Essential Commodities Act by the government itself, because they have been holding so much, because the entire stock is considered as a hoarded stock, and this reduces the entire, this does not allow the farmers to gain the benefit of the market access, although it protects them, but at times it is also a burden to farmers. So this is the basic reason why the government is doing it. However, sir, the farmers feel that if the buffer stock is, if the overall capacity of FCI is being reduced, it will hamper their procurement by the government, and this is the contentious issue, which I think through market access, through technology, through platforms like eNAM and Ag Market, the farmers, the contentious issues of the farmers could be resolved, sir.
Okay, nice talking to you, Anmol. Interview is over. You may go now.
Thanks.
So, Anmol, how was your experience?
So good.
You have appeared before the UPSC interview, but earlier also.
Yes, sir. This would be my fourth attempt.
Fourth interview.
Fourth interview, sir.
In a row.
Yes, sir.
Continuously.
Yes, sir.
So, what is stopping your result? Mains or interview?
It's an interview. So I have been scoring less than 155, sir, in the past 3 attempts, sir.
And why? Have you analyzed?
So in my second interview, I went into an argumentative situation. That could be a reason, and I got only 130 marks in that interview. So in the last interview, I don't know, sir, what happened there. I mean, I could be tensed, but it went fairly well, sir.
Our assessment is that you deserve much more marks as per your performance today. On a couple of occasions, yes, there is a hint that there is a question responsibility of officials So you have to just to evenly distribute the responsibility. Public should also be responsible. This is what a question is: civic sense, behavioral transformation the government is trying to bring about.
Okay. So similar kind of question was asked to me, and I balanced this because he asked me, I think he said that I think all Indians are dishonest, and there is tremendous corruption in India, and I tried to balance the opinion. Then he asked me a series of questions on it. And we do not know how to drive, sir, and he then argued me on it. Then he asked me certain things on football. And then he said that India cannot play a team sport. We are obsessed with ourselves, and this series of questions continued, sir. So I just took a stand that that would not initiate a debate, sir. So this happened in my second interview, sir.
You have to devise a smarter answers,
Okay, sir.
so as not to appear to contradict the member and still sell through the question. See, other things are saying your communication is good. You are able to logically explain the points you are making, and demeanor is pleasant. Your sitting position is good. That means all these things you have already experienced 3-4 times. So that's good. And I think you'll have to try to find some questions where you can make a huge impression.
Okay.
Let's say you are a policy analyst, you have been policy analyst and a student of physics. So your perceptions will be very crystal clear. You should have, your answers were a little routine on agriculture, textbook answers. So devise some answers which look to be fresh and innovative. And on Madhya Pradesh you gather more information. Other things are fine. That means we don't find any reason why shouldn't you score close to 200. That means performance by. So maybe these improvements you require, and work on it. All the best.
Thank you.